Come on, do your Batman voice.
I would. I just don't know which one I would pick because there's like a million of Batmans. So, yeah. Huh? Fart man.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Obliterating social norms and overrunning the cultural corrosion with righteous rhetoric and common sense. This is Overflow, the extended conversation covering life, today's newsbreakers, and the occasional banter with the most interesting members of the human species. Signaling from the conservative chasm of Central Valley, California. It's the outlaws your conscience warned you about. Let's welcome your hosts, Loto and Philville.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's a beautiful, I think we're in the 60s, Phil. Week here in the conservative chasm of the left coast. Welcome to episode 32.
32. I can't believe it. Here we go. 32.
Man. Jeez, bro. We're almost at the big one. So, gosh, I can't believe 30. Philville, before we get on with the great show that we have planned for today, why don't you drop the show drip?
Looking forward to that. Yeah, we have a great show lined up today. We're celebrating a special anniversary in a solemn moment, maybe. And then also we're going to looking at what took place with the banks and how it affects us and some maybe risk. And then the Trump arrest is that both sides are going crazy as crazy could be.
Oh, yeah.
We got to talk about all the reactions from the left and the right and everything in between and the future.
I think Trump might have everybody in agreement right now.
Yeah, and then social media, how it affects kids. And some people are even dying from it. We'll find out. And some things about the political element of our vice president is speaking out. And we got to listen to the great words that she shares with us and the contrast with her and the former president. Yeah. And then a lot of things locally. We're going to talk about some things that are hitting our state and also some things highlighted in entertainment. Can't wait to talk about that and a whole lot more.
Sir. Thank you, Philville, for that show drip. My brother, how was your week?
A great time. Just great because we got to celebrate. Guess what? Mia, your granddaughter.
Yeah.
That'll be a whole different story here. Breaking news. Your goddaughter.
What?
Yeah, she turned 3 years old.
Praise God.
Yeah, so this last week, we got to celebrate, take the day off and went to the zoo, and she loved all of the things that were in the cages. She loved like the fake butterflies and the displays.
Yes.
But yeah, she had a great time and the flowers. So
that's so awesome.
But the scenery, she got to see her animals and call them out. But yeah, great time and great turning 3 years old. She's getting so big. But yours, I know you didn't have such a great time.
Yeah, man. This week it was, I was under the weather, but thank God we are back in the saddle today. It was a great week, bro. Before, we got some more celebrations, man. Pastor Fua, which was one of our guests, on the show, man. We just want to congratulate him and celebrate his first Sunday there with Northeast Assembly, I believe, right?
Well, congratulations to Pastor Fua and everybody there at Northeast in this new season. A lot of great things taking place there.
Praise God. And I want to thank God for the First Lady Brittany, man, for hooking him up with the sermon, because I got a few phone calls about the service, bro. Looks like I texted him and said, hey, bro, I want to have to pray for you guys a new roof, because I heard the pastor there tore the roof down this Sunday, man. So that was awesome, bro.
Nice.
It was really awesome, man. But yeah, this week got to, like I said, was under the weather, got back in the saddle, man, and went... got to be involved with Feeding Fresno, bro. You remember Feeding Fresno?
Feeding tens of thousands over the years, right?
Yes, millions actually.
That's right.
The last couple of years during COVID, especially. But so we relaunched Feeding Fresno, earlier this year, and back on our third Sundays of the month. So Feeding Fresno, for those of you that are here locally, it's a ministry that we give away food, and other resources for those that need it, man. You're more than welcome to join us at Cornerstone Fresno. And we had a blast, bro. And your boy actually had a throwback, and actually got to drop some heat, on during the outreach, man, and did a few songs out there, bro. It was a really nice, it was an awesome time.
Wait. Did you everybody catch that? Loto, Here Overflow, and Loto Ministries came out of retirement, and you did a whole set there?
Did a couple of songs, yeah.
So he did his polka music, he did his opera.
He did hip hop, 3-step, 4-step, the whole nine.
Praise God, man! I wish I could have seen that, man. I love that. That's where your roots came from, right?
It was a blessing. Yeah, it was a blessing, bro. Being out there, man, just you know, and then even just to hear everybody else, man. Sonia was out there with Sandra. You know, they got to do a song, man, and it was just awesome. Mondo, you know, it was incredible, bro. There was a lot of great help out there, but it was awesome, bro. So, anyways, man, anything else besides the birthday celebrations?
You know what? We're just, you know what? I got it. It's worth noting this. I've it's been a while since I kind of binged anything, right? Because I just life.
Yeah.
But at late at night, I was able to binge the past week. Picard. Are you familiar with this show, Picard?
Man.
Yeah, Picard. You know, Star Trek for those Trekkies out there.
All the Trekkies know Picard.
Yeah, Picard has his own show, I guess, on Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I only seen season 1. So season 2 and season 3 were yet to be seen.
Oh, what?
So I binged all through season 2, and then I guess I'm now up to date to season 3. And I love time travel. Time travel was part of the major plot, I guess, in season 2. So you like that?
So, bro, yes. Okay, so you watch all 3 seasons?
Yes, I'm correct.
Man, isn't it awesome?
Man, yes, and no spoilers here, but the Borg Queen was in
Borg Queen was
season 2.
Yes, she's back.
Yeah. But you know, I gotta. Did you know this? I don't know if you caught this.
Mm-hmm.
I found out actually yesterday when I was looking things up.
Mm-hmm.
The one who played the Borg Queen, Annie Wershing, she died this last month. I didn't even know that. Did you know that?
Yeah, we reported it.
We did. No, I didn't really remember that.
Yes, I believe we reported on it.
No.
Yeah. But yes, bro. The Picard, man. It's. I mean, I love it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Picard fan. I'm a huge Patrick Stewart fan. And you know, it's all about Professor X for me when it comes to him. You know, but as far as Star Trek, man, I'm Star Trek way back. You know, Captain Kirk, and then now even before Captain Kirk with the other. You know, the other versions of Star Trek that's come out. You know, just in this last few years, bro.
Pike.
Pike.
I'm on
Captain
episode 1 right now.
Oh man, yeah, you're gonna like it, bro.
Yes, I am looking forward to.
It's really I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been kind of pausing being the Trekkie over the years.
Yeah,
so, again, it's been since season 1 that I saw Picard. So
yeah, and you know, and we're rare breeds. You know, usually if you have a Trekkie, they're not they're not Jedis. You know, usually you don't find fans of both genres, but no, this is I love both Star Wars and Star Trek. Captain Pike, bro, it's a really, really great homage, you know, to the late great, the original Spock, you know.
Oh, really?
It was, so you're gonna enjoy it, bro.
Okay, yeah,
awesome.
I know Spock characters in there, but it's I think the third person playing Spock, but he does a really good job doing it.
Yeah,
you know he's related to Marlon Brando. He's the nephew of Marlon
Brando. Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
The current Spock.
Current Spock.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but that's what I thought I understood.
Now that you say that, man, I mean, he kind of has some of Brando's tones, you know.
Yeah.
So that's I would even say that. Yeah, Spock is the Marlon Brando of the sci-fi pretty much. You know, the guy's a legend. You know, or the character's a legend. So. That's cool, bro. I think you watched another one, didn't you, or a documentary?
Yes, I did watch. Now, for those of you who, it is a historic one because it's about the MH370 plane that disappeared a few years back. I know they never really solved the reason why it went down or disappeared, but it raises some questions. There's 3 or 4 different theories that kind of seem plausible, and there's some questions that. Kind of, was it a conspiracy? Was it natural? Was it a mechanical failure? Was it somebody in the inside? It was just great. I mean, my wife and I, we just had to watch it, and it was just great.
So I mean, you probably don't want to give your spoilers away, huh?
Yeah.
So cool, man. Speaking of documentaries, bro, I came across this. It's called Broken.
Yeah.
I thought it was a version of the movie Broken that just came out a few years ago. Or
Bruce Willis?
TV show. Not Bruce Willis. The other guy, I forget what movie he's in. The younger guy. He's a younger guy. But it's an inspirational. But no, this was actually a documentary also, you know?
Yeah.
And one of the things they was talking about that I found really interesting was Jules, the vapors, you know, or the vape these things, you know? And man, I would actually, I don't really endorse Netflix, you know, but this was one show that I really thought, man, I wish more people would see it. It has a lot of great information on there. And I feel like they did a really good job on being fair-handed about it.
Mhm.
It wasn't extreme one way or another. You know, there was a few times where I wondered, man, who paid for this documentary? You know, but I mean, they do show both sides. I will say for Jules, though, it left them in not such a good light, but at their own fault. You know, when the owner says, you know, when he's asked about, hey, you know, what about these kids that are being addicted? You know, and he did a good job through the whole documentary, bro, about, you know, well, we're trying, you know, to keep it away from kids, you know. But then at the end, you know, make a statement like, well, it's the government's job to keep, you know, everybody safe and all that. I was
Spoiler,
like,
yeah.
oh, gosh, man. No, it wasn't a spoiler. It was just said just kind of matter of fact and kind of just slipped through, you know, but, you know, so... But yeah, I you know, if anybody, if you guys come across that, I would, you know, there's other things they talk about, makeup and all that, but this one was particularly interesting to me because of what we do, you know, as far as ministry and all that, bro.
Man, yeah, that's the danger is really. I've heard somebody not too long ago just say, yeah, vaping is nothing wrong with that. It's better than smoking. Like,
yeah, see, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So vaping. So for those that don't know, vaping was actually one of the reasons and one of the main reasons they push for vaping for those people who are pro vapes. It is, you know, it takes people off of cigarettes. You know, it causes people, it helps them to stop smoking cigarettes. Well, actually, those who are more prone to vape eventually end up smoking. That's what they're starting to see now. It is still way too early to really call anything because, you know, we need you know, decades of data, you know, to come with this, but they are seeing that, you know, people, which sadly, bro, it's a lot of teenagers, you know, there's, you know, a big portion of the people that are smoking or vaping now are teenagers, you know, and that's scary because, you know, it's not going to take too long for them to end up, you know, smoking, which is really crazy, Philip, because you know, this generation, bro, we'll ask them, hey, you know, do you smoke? And they're like disgusted, you know, like, ugh, I don't smoke, you know. But they don't understand that the vaping is kind of pretty much the same thing. And actually, it does have things that are very dangerous, you know. But again, we won't know a lot until we get more data. But what we know now, it's not very promising, bro. So we actually have some things coming up talking about addiction.
Yeah,
you know?
Look, yes, we'll be doing all that. And I'm looking forward to seeing that documentary. And you got to check out the MH, the Plot the Plane. Well, it's that time for...
It's your newsmakers and breakers.
I just wanted to read. There's an answer to this.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Tony. He was my mentor, so I'm going to have to let him speak.
The small print here, it's really small print. In states with evidence of community transmission, bars, restaurants, food courts, gyms, and other indoor and outdoor venues where groups of people congregate should be closed.
So, Mr. President, are you telling governors in those states then to close all their restaurants?
Well,
and their
we haven't
bars?
said that yet.
Well, yeah, and he just walks away like nothing. Like just millions of people affected because of that policy, right?
Can you tell them what the significance of the video, bro? What they're celebrating?
Well, it's the anniversary, I guess 3 years ago this week that Fauci went to the podium and gave all of his recommendations. Yeah. And he became the one that gospel, everything he said was gospel. If Fauci said it, we need to follow it. So when Trump would push back on something that seemed kind of wrong or pushed against our freedoms, he was demonized, and everybody who stood against Fauci or some of those things, I had questions. I just wanted answers to those questions. Yeah. And just like that, freedom was gone.
Yep. And to be clear, everyone, that video was 3 years ago to today, at the time of this recording, you know, this is when Fauci went up and declared the shutdown. We had no idea how literal and how prophetic he was, because we definitely got some shutdowns, didn't we, Phil?
Yes, we definitely shut down a lot, especially our freedoms. But now we've seen a lot of things shut down. We had a bank in Silicon Valley. I know everybody's been following a lot of that because it just caused a big panic in the financial world. Yeah. And we were told that wasn't going to affect any other banks, and the second one closed down. And then now here in the week, Reports.com, nearly 200 banks at risk of SVB type collapse, study finds. And what is happening here in our nation, Loto? Are you concerned?
Yeah. I mean, especially with the bank you just mentioned, that's actually a local bank, and that was the first bank that was in trouble. And now, like you said, we're seeing a domino effect, not just across the California, the United States. Now we're starting to see Sweden. We're starting to see a collapse across the globe. And the sad thing is, a lot of this was avoidable. I just wish, that we wouldn't. I wish you would have put people that were smart about banks in charge of what we should have done about banks, rather than a guy that's supposed to be a science or a medical guy.
Loto, did you see, like, after he said that, Trump had a small response?
Yeah, if you guys noticed, man, Trump was pretty reluctant because, again, speaking of the whole bank thing and finances, Trump knows finances, and I'm pretty sure Trump knew the dangers, of a complete shutdown and the way that we did it, and so. Yeah, bro, it's sad, but this was, this could have been avoided.
It could have been avoided, and we had warning signs, and a lot of us saw and heard it from Trump, and we're like, it sounds like it's making sense, but there's many out there just so full of the Trump derangement syndrome. They didn't want to even give him benefit of doubt of what he was saying was accurate. Yeah. Here, take a listen of what some things were said back then.
Before I took office, there was a lot of folks out there making some pretty bold predictions about how things would turn out. You might remember some of the predictions.
If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
Okay.
They're coming for your guns, they're coming for your jobs, and they're coming for your freedom.
They hate American energy, and Joe Biden will shut it all down. He's going to. Biden's elected. He will wipe out your energy industry.
Another prediction that is my favorite one, I must add, is that if I got elected...
Gas prices going $5, $6, $7 for a gallon.
Flood your communities with criminal aliens, drugs, and crime while they live behind beautiful gated compounds. They try to take away your guns, Second Amendment, they want to take it away, while they enjoy private security that's fully armed.
I never understood that one.
You have to admit, there's probably some buyer's remorse at times during this time, especially with the banks collapsing.
Yeah.
And a lot of, like, I told you so, but I don't know any response to that video.
Just, it seems like Fauci wasn't the only prophetic one, man. Trump called it, nailed it, It's very, very sad, bro. And we're not even seeing the end of it, with the inflations, just all these different things, going on. I mean, it was predicted, and we were warned about it. The sad thing is, again, with questionable elections, that just makes things even worse, because not only, what could have been, you also wonder what should have been.
Speaking of Trump, while something historic is taking place, first time ever a former president is looking to be arrested. He announced in a speech that he might be arrested coming up on Tuesday, and everybody's going crazy on both sides, the left, the right. Hollywood is going nuts. All the reactions, the opponents that he's running against, some are even standing by his side in this because it's very obvious. Isn't it politically motivated? You have to say that. It is politically... they're weaponizing the justice system.
They're absolutely weaponizing the justice system, because if anybody looks at what he's getting arrested for, it's practically equivalent to a traffic ticket, And again, they're going after a former president. It's sad because you got issues with the statute of the limitations.
Yes.
Not just the validity of the announced crime. So we'll see, man. I really question this quite a bit, Philville. The timing of it, you know.
That's right. Why about the timing? Explain that, because what just took place?
A name that many people probably hasn't even heard. Should have heard by now.
No.
Since it was announced, a couple of days now. Robert Walker, I believe, right?
Yeah, Robert Walker. He was part of the transaction of several millions of dollars that were given to Biden Inc. Several family members. It was the hunter, the uncle, and now a fourth, another family member, or the daughter-in-law.
The daughter-in-law, Bo's
widow.
Yes,
The widow.
widow. And then there's a fourth account, that actually has just the name Biden on it. But the interesting thing or maybe the dangerous thing or concerning thing is where the money is from, Philville. Where was it from?
It's from China.
From China.
But wait a minute. It's from China. And all these years, because it's back in the election of 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through the whole election cycle. No, it's Russia disinformation. It's not true. I mean, Biden from the podium of the debate, all these people are saying that are for his side. We're saying it's lies. But now all of a sudden, Hunter's now their camp is now saying, well, we were just private citizens making money. Now they admit it.
Yes, they admit it, and they're also changing the goalposts. They're moving the goalposts. Well, okay, we did it, but this is really what we're doing. Or, okay, we did it, but this is only how much we took, So we're going to hear a lot of this going on, but again, a lot of what's happening now that's very dangerous are things that Trump warned us about. The border crisis, Philville, that also has. Now, when we say China, I want to make clear, we're not talking about China as the people of China. We're talking about CCP. We're talking about the Communist China Party.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about, so, or the China Communist Party. So, now we have an issue on the border where we have people that are related to CCP or China. What is it? It's gone up 1,000%, I believe.
Yes, I know. 2020, 2021, and 22, it was like in 20 nationals, 30 nationalists, like 50. Now, just this year, or 3 months in, and over 260 Chinese nationalists are now have been caught. That's caught. So who?
Yes.
There's a lot of gotaways.
Yes.
And they're including those on the terror watch list too.
Exactly. Those are the ones that were caught, and so you're probably wondering, like, what is the big deal? 260 people, really, that you're going to make? No, when you add the spy balloon, when you add the fact that China is our most dangerous enemy out there, that they're the number one concern for a lot of the people that's in charge of things here, it matters. When you hear about fentanyl and the effect that fentanyl is having, on our nation, particularly the young people of our nation, when you put all these things together, it matters, and that's why we do report on those things here on Overflow EXT, because these are the things that we need to be told. And again, they're trying to wipe off the headlines, Philville. So that's why, again, bringing it back to the whole Trump arresting thing, or his arresting, just the timing is a little bit too convenient to me. These guys are really good at wiping the headlines and making sure that they control the narrative as much as they can. And sadly, Philville, they have their friends in the media that will help them do it.
Yeah, we're seeing there the prosecutor that was elected was backed by a famous funder from a lot of campaigns out there. Even Elon Musk is shining a light. Article from conservativebrief.com. Elon Musk shines light on Soros' connection to Trump. Indictment. This is his fingerprints all over everything. So even Elon Musk is calling out George Soros, because this is very fishy. Again, Elon Musk is not necessarily right on the right side of the aisle.
No, but he's definitely had a few red pills, it sounds like. So for those that don't know George Soros is a historical figure when it comes to politics.
Yes.
And globally. So he funds a lot of different things. If you look way back in Bill Clinton days and Hillary Clinton, you'll see moveon.org. You'll see almost anything that ends with blue. You'll see George Soros involved with, besides the police. What George Soros did in these last few elections, just like I believe Musk also pointed this out, he figured out that it's a lot more effective to influence local elections than it is trying to affect federal elections. So what George Soros has done, he's starting to fund and donate money to the campaigns of judges and your DAs. LA, if you're wondering why people are not getting arrested in your area, Portland, all of these, New York, all of these liberal run places, if you're wondering why people are not getting arrested and a lot of crime is happening and it's been allowed, you could probably bet your house that George Soros is behind the DA, funded the DA, because they're into this whole social justice thing, which really is no justice for anybody but the elite, So George Soros behind this Alvin Bragg, who's going after Trump.
Yes.
And again, his prosecutions can be very thin. There's a lot of legal experts that's coming out against it. There's a lot of celebrity that's coming out against it. And Trump even has some of his opponents coming out against it, which is, it's bittersweet, but pretty encouraging that people are speaking up.
This is beyond left and right of just a political thing. This is about America and all of us that stand together. We want a secure nation, secure borders. We want strong families, and this woke agenda that somebody with billions of dollars is trying to have the power to control the political system, and we can see right through it. And that's even happening right now with Donald Trump. And I really know that we got to shine light on this. But you know what? The reaction to this arrest soon to be coming is happening. The reactions across the board, like we're talking about. But Chris Rock, and what he had a special, right? We talked about that. The great big slap. Well, he's slapping a different way here because Breitbart is reporting Chris Rock calls Democrat stupid for wanting to arrest Trump, quote unquote, only going to make him more popular. Loto, do you think this is going to help him? And his popularity that Trump might help him get elected?
Absolutely, bro. I don't even have to say much, brother. All we have to do is have you read the rest of the quotes. That's exactly why this is going to backfire. I think everybody know what response would be. I think it's even more interesting, though, just to read even an opponent of Trump, because there are a lot of people that's speaking out, like we mentioned earlier, against this.
Yeah, Mike Pence sending impending Trump arrest reeks of political prosecution. And that's from Rolling Stone. And it's surprising because many are saying that Mike Pence.
What did he say, though? It reeks of what?
Of reeks of political prosecution. So another overstep of power.
Yeah.
Kevin McCarthy and Marjorie Taylor also chime in on former president's announcement that he expects to be arrested next week.
And I believe McCarthy has actually initiated an investigation, right?
Yeah, he's not wasting any time. He is starting a House investigation. He says immediately because this is again abuse of power. It is again a historic time right now to going after a former president.
Yeah, again, for those like myself, and us here at Overflow, we're tired of investigation. We're investigating. No, what McCarthy is investigating here is to make sure that there was no federal money going to this prosecution because, again, even the feds did not want to prosecute this, Philville. DOJ, as much as they raided his house pretty much. Chris Ray says otherwise, but they raided his house, but they wouldn't even touch this, not even with the 10-foot pole, bro. So this it really does, like Penn said, it really does stink of political, prosecution here.
There are a lot of criticism, even on the right, against Nikki Haley and DeSantis. They're like, where are they at? They're potentially candidates. One is running, announced as a presidential candidate. But DeSantis finally breaks silence here on Forbes.com. Is reporting DeSantis breaks silence on possible Trump charges and criticizes New York prosecutor for political agenda. This is nonstop, and he goes on calling the district attorney, quote unquote, corrupt by saying he would not get involved in a manufactured circus.
Absolutely. And now I believe we mentioned his opponents, earlier, so I'm glad that they did. But there is one particular one that I was really encouraged, that he came because, DeSantis, all these people, man, I appreciate their whole thing. But, I understand, too, for those even in the MAGA crowd, that understand, this guy took a swipe at Trump while speaking against this investigation, but it was Vivek. Is that his name? The businessman?
Yeah. Trump in 2024 opponent Vivek and FoxNews.com. It slams possible looming indictment. He calls it a dark moment in American history. That's exactly what it is.
I think that's probably the most powerful response, Philville, because just like you said, it is a very dark moment in America when we can go after a president, a former elected president, to this nation with a crime like this, and that we go after him in this manner. So, and then I know, Philville, there's a lot of talk about, protests, Trump called for it and all that. And, I know they're trying to do the whole thing with the January 6th again, with the insurrection and trying to get everybody, all pent up, and my prayer is that everybody plays this smart, that everybody, uses their wisdom and uses their better judgment. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't even an arrest, bro, physically.
Yes.
I am concerned because this thing can go bad in a lot of ways. I know how much these people hate Trump, and there's just no. We thought we saw the bottom, right?
Yes.
We thought we saw how low they could go, but man, they just keep beating those lows. So I dread just wondering what could happen, bro. So my prayer is that we pull this back, come back to clear heads, and that cool heads will prevail. But I'm glad that people are speaking out, speaking out, Philville.
Yeah, and the same article, Fox News, Vivek goes on in this quote, "It is un-American for the ruling party to use police power to arrest its political rivals." And he goes on giving an example. If a Republican prosecutor in 2004 had used a campaign finance technically to arrest then candidate John Kerry while Bush and Cheney were in power, liberals would have cried foul, and rightfully so.
That's absolutely right. And I'm going to talk about this, Philville, later on in the show in our extended conversation on how dangerous things have become.
FoxNews.com, YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat sued by Silicon Valley School Board for monetizing misery. I guess the school board is now crying out for mental health crisis amongst their kids, saying that including Instagram is really making their kids depressed and dealing with a lot of different issues. Do you think they have a case here, Loto?
I absolutely do think they have a case.
So what they're claiming is that YouTube are purposely designed to be addictive. And I can see what they're saying here, because they're saying they cultivated when Facebook acquired Instagram, for example, they did all these studies and the reports to see what, the effects on the demo of the kids and how they can then target them by ads. Mm-hmm. So they had the information beforehand. So the school is calling out for all in this lawsuit for all this evidence and alleges that, they have a case here.
Yeah. Look, it's a business. And every business wants to get people they want their clients to keep coming back. So almost every business, you're going to try to figure out a way to keep your people, quote unquote, addicted to your product, And every company knows the younger you start, the longer term you have for that client to be your client, So if they get these kids addicted while they're young, they're going to have a client for a lifetime, So but that part doesn't surprise me. The thing that is concerning is what the effect that it's having on these kids. I mean, we even have fatal effects when it comes to social media.
The New York Post is reporting this week, model Jeff Thomas fell to his death while taking a selfie. And again, they're still investigating to get the final conclusion of that. But if you look at that, it just caused, we're looking at this article, it brought up some other questions. Are people really dying taking selfies? And I guess apparently a New York Post reported a few years back, more people die taking selfies than shark attacks. As of now, over 300 and some have died taking selfies.
Okay, so I want to pause right there because I want to go back. The model fell off a cliff?
He fell off his balcony.
Or his oh my gosh.
Yes, and somebody thought he jumped, but it looks like he was taking a selfie, I guess, with evidence showing so far. Others are saying other things, but
wow,
yeah, and he has he's a model, so I guess he takes a lot of selfies.
I'm still wondering, how do you fall off your cliff? Off your balcony. So wow, that's pretty concerning. And yes, as far as if more people are dying than people dying from shark attacks, maybe they need to start taking the same kind of approach. That you would take if you understood that, hey, there's a shark in that water, I think our approach to social media would be different. What do you think about this, bro?
Over 379 people have died, as what we're finding so far in taking selfies. That's just recorded. I think it's a reflection of our culture. We're more concerned and so much about image. We're willing to put ourselves in danger. And this is dangerous for our kids' mental health. But we even seen this is in danger for physical health too.
Yeah, bro. Again, I always want to be careful, of overreacting. This definitely is concerning. As far as the deaths, man, 371 is too much. But along with the deaths, from social media or taking selfies, there are the other dangers, and like you said, self-image, self-worth, self-value. those are some of the things that I wish we take a lot more time paying attention to. And then again, this is another one that's kind of slippery, because when are the parents responsible?
Parents should be the most concerned about their kids' health. We could put so many blocks on there from the government and regulations, but really, if kids want to do something, they're going to do it, and the parents need to be watchful. I think even us as parents of a young toddler, how much screen time is she going to have? How much what is going to be she going to be exposed to in not just on YouTube, but just in general, just in media. We'd rather have her be at the park playing.
Yes, bro. Does it say how old that model was? I'm pretty sure, was he an adult or was he a child?
It's an adult model.
Okay, now I'm interested to know that, even with the 379 deaths, because if we're talking about most of those people are adults that's dying, of course that matters. But again, then it comes back to, okay, is it a child's issue then? Is it a children? Is it a issue about children? Or and then just to give the other side a voice. Was there substance abuse involved with this? Was there any kind of copanism? Was there any alcohol involved? Because those are other related issues that we might have more to do with than just taking the selfie.
Yeah, and they're saying that he might have some mental health issues. That's what his brother is saying, but others are saying that he's pretty happy. What is the core issues? And again, back to culture. Yeah. New York Post and that earlier article I was telling you about. Saying narcissism is alive and well. Oh yeah. So it's and also says that a new survey found that 41% of us have already risked our safety in pursuit of a selfie.
Again, we're a podcast, bro, and one thing we make a commitment to is to not be overzealous about certain things as far as pushing something. So I just want to make sure all the facts and all the numbers are there when they reported this. Or are they selling a paper? Because we know how to sell a show, but we refuse to do certain things, to make sure we keep the integrity of our show as well, So there, but all in all, it doesn't take away that we do need to pay attention, mom and dad, to what our kids are being exposed to, because through those phones, it's amazing. We won't let any stranger walk into our house, but we'll let any stranger get a hold of our kids through those phones. We have to be more careful.
Okay, back here in California, here also in the Central Valley where we're from, where our podcast is located, is there's been a drought here for several years, right, Loto? Here in the valley, and we've been praying for quite some time. Yes, it's impacted our
part of our 21-day fast.
Yeah, agriculture and a lot of Californians really know how it's been here in the valley, and so. When I heard this story, I'm like, man, they can't be doing this. This can't be doing this. Well, apparently now it is true. 20,000 cubics of water is being released in the ocean right now per sec. 20,000 cubics per second as we speak right now. Loto, what is your response to this madness?
It's amazing, bro. We've got so much water. These last couple of weeks, last couple of months, it's been very encouraging. But yeah, it is very disappointing, bro, that just to think a lot of that water is going to go right back into the ocean. The cool thing, though, is that God responds is like, you know what? You don't want to fill up my reservoirs. You don't want to create, ways to keep water for my people. I'll fill up my own reservoirs. Yeah. I'll fill it up so much. I'm going to fill up the water beds underneath us, Yes. So. It's really, really cool, man, that we got so much water. And you know what's so awesome, bro? Yeah. We're praying for all of our neighbors here in the state. There's been some that has experienced devastation, because of a lot of the water, here in Fresno, in this area, man, it's been pretty calm, bro. But we're still getting just as much as everybody else.
And there's more on its way, right? Of course, the snow, like 15 feet in one night. I'm like, wow.
Man. It snowed for I believe 3 days right here in Fresno, in certain parts of Fresno, so man, some people are calling it the end of the end times, I'm praying that it's the end of the drought.
Joe Rogan opens anti-woke comedy club. Newsmax.com is reporting. Loto, in Austin, Texas, when I saw this, I was just like, man, he is taking a stand on free speech. Again, not all speech I agree with, but he is pushing free speech. And there's been several comedians over the years that have been canceled, including David Lucas, Ron White, Roseanne Barr, and many more have been canceled. And he sold out. And,
Wow.
and so people are wanting to have comedy back. And your thoughts on this?
It's raining red pills. It's raining red pills. That's all I can say, brother. Praise the Lord.
You know, it's been a while since we talked about a segment, and it's time for Geek Out Corner with Philville. DC is back in the headlines for all you geeks out there that are DC fans. And I am a DC fan, a Marvel fan, but I really love DC. Of course, the number one superhero, Superman, is back in the news. And James Gunn has announced that James Gunn, the new co-CEO, will be directing this film. Now, if James Gunn doesn't ring a bell, he actually directed Guardians of the Galaxy, so that he brought that franchise and brought it to life. So all the comedic elements, all the creativity, I loved it because it was fun and it was about superheroes. So he's going to be directing this new Superman called Legacy. Loto, your thoughts?
Superman Legacy, man. James Gunn. So I didn't know that he was the one that directed the Galaxy.
Really?
No, I didn't know that. But I love Galaxy. You know why? I think the most important reason why is because it revived Dave Bautista for me.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah, because, he comes from WWE, comes from professional wrestling. And, a lot of us fans kind of left a sour taste, the way that he left and all that. So, which means he did his job right, But, man, Drax, bro, I love the guy. He is hilarious,
Yes.
And so, man, it's just funny, it's hilarious to me. So, big thumbs up for that. But yeah, bro, I know you're a big DC fan. I like DC,
I like them both, right?
I actually love both of them. I'm just too much of an X-Men fan, if you're gonna ask me to pick. But yeah, bro. So this is really, really cool. I'm glad that Superman is getting another run. I don't think we'll ever overdo Superman. At the same time, I don't think we could ever duplicate the original Superman from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, well, James Gunn, he's going to take care of Superman. I have no problem because he took care of Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. I love Drax too. James Gunn brought those characters to life, and speaking of Guardians, their Guardians 3 is coming out, and he says a lot of the main characters are not safe. So we're hearing some are saying this character might die, maybe Drax may die, and maybe people are saying don't kill Drax. Man. Yes, but you hear the Bautista, he's saying that he's kind of moving on from superhero movies. So that might be a little foreshadowing.
Is that Bautista that said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was Ben Affleck that said that.
Oh, well, that's a different one. Yeah, they both. Okay. Yeah, Ben Affleck, same thing. So he's saying that he's done with superhero movies too. That he's looking to expand, his portfolio a little bit, if you will.
Okay,
but so it's fine for
an actor. Yeah,
it's more power to him. But James Gunn was brought up from Marvel. Kevin Feige, who was the one in charge of the MCU. Now again, I get a little more geeky right here, but Kevin Feige is the one that orchestrates the MCU universe and is in charge of the direction. And James Gunn was there for many years, and he still is. I think he has 5 movies total, maybe. I forget. They're at the MCU, so he's kind of balancing it from the MCU to the DCU.
That's cool.
Yeah, but he has a 10-year plan for DCU, and I'm looking forward. They're going to bring Supergirl. They're bringing the Bat family.
Did you find out? Did you watch it?
Yes.
Who the new Robin is?
Oh my gosh. Who is it?
Damien.
Yes, Damien. So they're going to have an older Damien, it looks like.
Yeah. Yep. And it makes sense with the Bat family that they're working on.
And who's Damien? Tell the viewers.
That's Bruce Wayne's son.
Damien yes.
Wayne. Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to keep it from the typical or from the traditional from where he came from. Like, he grew up as a ninja or he grew up as... Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. But a 10-year plan, there's like a nuke, somewhat like a Avengers type of, but not, or Justice League, but it's for like the anti-hero.
I'm a fan of the old Batman, bro. Not the so dark one. I guess what is the Dark Knight?
I like dark. Give me the dark stuff. Yeah, I like the I don't know, just what it is. Just like the dark.
It's just too dark sometimes for me. But no, I'm a big fan of Michael Keaton.
Let me hear your Batman voice. Come on, do your Batman voice.
I would. I just don't know which one I would pick because there's like a million of Batmans. Yeah. Huh? Fart man.
I was like,
That's what.
remember he would.
Ben Affleck sounds like.
Remember Christian Bell would have
like a talking fart. What is he doing?
what?
Yeah, Ben Affleck when he does.
I was
this.
like Christian Bell. He would get someone like,
Batman.
it's like you can understand me.
Can you clear your throat? Somebody get the man some water, please. But yeah. But no, I'm excited, bro. This definitely has brought a lot of energy into the Superman world, man. But I'm a Kill fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Shazam soon. I don't know. I need to go
Yes.
see that one because I think it's the last one of I think the last one with this group.
So I was watching something the other day, and it showed a Shazam. But I think it was an animated one. So that's not the new one, right? Is that an old Shazam?
They have. I know they have on not Disney Plus, HBO Max. Some of the cartoon ones that were released.
So that
might be it. But Shazam 3 is
so
out.
There's another
in
one
theaters
coming
out right now.
Oh,
I was
okay.
trying to see it this past.
Oh, there's
weekend.
one in the theaters.
In the theaters right now.
Oh,
you
Shazam!
guys didn't go see that? Yes, you don't care.
No.
All right. Well, that sums it up for all of our Geek Corner and also for.
It's your news makers and breakers.
Bill, thank you so much, man. That was a great news makers and breakers. A lot of big news, man. A lot of legal stuff, but man, I'm really excited about the Superman stuff. So, coming into an extended conversation for today in this show, I just want to kind of slow things down a little bit, and I want to talk to you about just current events, especially with this whole thing with Trump going on. Family, there's a story that was brought to our attention in Louisiana that really resonated with me. And so, Phil, can you read that story, please, or can you give us a little bit of information from that?
Yeah, the Western Journal is reporting that Republicans gain historic power after Louisiana Democrat switches parties. Thompson's party gives Louisiana Republicans a supermajority in the state's House for the first time. Watch this, in the state's 210-year history.
So again, folks, this is a Democrat senator in Louisiana, state senator, that has changed parties. And with that one move, Louisiana now has the majority power for the Republicans, which means that they can veto practically anything that their governor, tries to pass or that signs off on. I was really encouraged that here's a man that changed his party affiliation. Why was that, Phil?
Because this is a quote from him. The push that passed several years by the Democratic leadership on both the national and state level to support certain issues does not align with those values and principles that are part of my Christian faith.
Because of his Christian faith. Family, you know that this is a Christian show, and we love it. We love the entertainment factor of it. Hopefully the educating factor of it. Some of the political stuff and all that. But our hearts really is about advancing the kingdom of God. And I'm truly encouraged, of this move here, that this decision was made because of his Christian faith. I'm speaking to Christians out there, and I'm speaking to decent people out there. Let your Christian faith and let your common humanity decency inform your judgment. And when it's time to vote, inform your vote. Thank you guys for joining us today. Philville?
Great episode. Great. A lot of covered so much today, but thank you for you joining us and be part of the conversation with us each and every week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we look forward to you being part of next week's episode.
We love you all. Lord bless. See you next week.
You've been listening to Overflow, the extended conversation, obliterating social norms and overrunning the cultural corrosion with righteous rhetoric and common sense. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit us up on social media at OverflowEXT. Lord bless, and we'll see you next time on Overflow, the extended conversation.